Welcome back to How to Cake It. I'm Yolanda, and my son is turning 4. And given his obsession with superheroes and the Justice League movie coming out, I thought I need to make like a comic book superhero inspired bam boom smash cake. I'm gonna be Cake Girl in the comic books, and I'm gonna say, go ahead, cake my day. For my son, I'm baking my favorite flavor. He loves it too. Chocolate banana. Now that all of my cakes are baked and cooled, I'm going to level them, and with the banana cakes, I will cut the caramelization away from the bottom. Once I'm happy with all of my cakes, I'm gonna cut each one of them in half horizontally to create 2 layers from each. All together, it was 18 pounds of cake.
If he's only 4 and you're doing 18 pounds of cake,
I know, I'm setting myself up. When he's 16, I'm making him a 500-pound cake. Him and his friends will go in, and then they'll just eat their way out. It's time for Sir Squeeze. He's got a whole 15 layers of cake to simple syrup. Sir Squeeze is my Robin.
Yes!
Yes, this is amazing. Get my oven mitts, Sir Squeeze, let's go. I'm on my way.
I don't know if you have quite as much like pow as other superheroes, but it's not bad.
Look what you could do. You could whip these. See? I got her. Oh wow, I got her right in the head. It didn't hurt. It's very soft.
It didn't hurt at all. That's the problem.
Okay, now I understand. It's time to build all 3 of my tiers by sandwiching my chocolate and banana cakes together with Italian meringue buttercream. You can find my Italian meringue buttercream recipe on page 30 of my cake book. After filling each tier, I simply used the buttercream that was sort of seeping out the sides to crumb coat all around and on top. And then I chilled all 3 tiers.
Yo, what's the Cake Girl crumb coat and chill dance?
Oh, you're not ready for that. I need more room. I do it in the air. But with legs and everything. Crumb coat and chill! Bam!
You scared me.
Cake Girl is gonna get herself on the Justice League. You know what? They need another girl. Wonder Woman needs a friend.
Yes, because Wonder Woman looks like she eats cake for sure.
I'm sure she enjoys cake responsibly. It is time to ice my cakes all again. Now, you know, I've told you before, when I'm making square cakes, it's really difficult. I like to keep my sides and my corners very sharp. So if you need to, when you ice your cake, use a bench scraper to help you, and feel free to chill it and then go back and touch up and ice again.
4-year-olds are definitely very particular about angles.
Yes,
right?
because he's gonna be like, Mom, that's not perpendicular or parallel. He's not even gonna wanna play with his friends or open gifts. He's gonna be so preoccupied if my angles aren't right. I'll ice you.
That actually sounds very violent.
It's time for fondant, and in order to keep these tiers nice and square, I'm gonna roll my fondant into sheets and apply it in sections to each tier of this cake. Starting with the bottom tier, which is the largest square cake, I'm gonna cover this one in yellow fondant. I've rolled out 5 sheets of yellow fondant, and the first thing I need to do is cover 2 opposite sides. Now I need to trim the excess away from these fondant sheets. So essentially, I'm cutting like panels of fondant exactly to the right height, and then adding them and trimming them on the cake so the edges are nice and square. The final panel is a sheet to cover the top. I like to use a set square to cut a perfect 90-degree angle on one end of the square of fondant, add it to the top of the cake, and then I use, of course, a ruler and a sharp paring knife to trim the other 2 sides flush to the cake. I repeat this process once again for the 2 remaining tiers. I cover my middle tier in blue fondant and the top tier in red fondant. For more tips and tricks on how to cover a box-shaped cake nice and square, check out my gift box cake. It's in the cake book on page 211. It's a good gift inside. It's chocolate. The next thing I want to do is, like a comic book, I want to frame each side of each cake like it's a frame from a comic book.
I think they call them panels.
Oh, panels. To do this, I'm rolling out some black fondant nice and thin, and then I'm gonna cut a whole bunch of 1/4-inch strips with a ruler and a sharp paring knife. And I'll attach them to the edges of all the sides of my cakes with a little bit of clear piping gel brushed on the back of each strip. Where the strips overlap, I'm gonna use my sharp knife to cut them with like a mitered cut. You know, like a picture frame? My gift box cake shows you exactly how I do that. Cake Girl is like Yolanda Gant by day, right? Then she gets into like a mixer and she comes out Cake Girl. Go ahead, cake my day.
That was great.
I know. Guys, who do you think should play me as Cake Girl? Comment below. This is gonna be fun.
Jeremy, oh boy.
Leave a comment below with the hashtag Cake Girl with the name of the actress you think should play me, Cake Girl. Now I need to fill these panels with a scene where the Cake Girl can fight cake injustices. She will fly into your kitchen and she will whip that box cake mix right out of your hand. So my son actually has a city skyline in his room on the wall. So I made a template out of that and cut it out of paper, and then I laid it on some more rolled out black sheets of fondant and cut out the city. And I need enough scenes for all 4 sides of 3 cakes. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do the back.
You did it?
No, he's not gonna see the back. And this was a lot of work. Like doing the city took me hours. Now that I have all my city scenes cut out, I want to score the lines between the buildings to define them a little bit further. So I use a ruler and the very sharp point of my paring knife. I just score it to define the buildings. And I even went a step further and I used a food coloring marker in black to draw over those score lines, just to give it a little more definition. I want it to look like a dark city skyline, you know what I mean? In the dark of night when bad things happen.
Yeah.
Like people buying generic grocery store slab cakes. And then Cake Girl hears about this. She flies through the sky with a cake book. Take this! I would never throw a book at people. And now this nighttime cityscape needs some lights, you know? I used my strip cutters to cut out different size strips of gum paste. I even used it in 2 directions. So if you use your strip cutter this way and cut out strips, and then you line it up this way, you'll get squares. You see what I did there?
I do.
Windows. That's how you can make a bunch of little squares at once. And using my ruler, lining everything up, clear piping gel on the back, I decorate all of the cityscapes. This only took about 4 hours, but Orhan, show like 2 seconds of footage just to cover us off. So in the meantime, let me remind you about Camp Cake. It's happening on December 9th, and it's a chance for us to bake together live. We are gonna take your holiday baking to a whole new fun level. Head over to howtocake.com because early bird pricing for Camp Cake ends in a few days. Get on it! And while you're at howtocake.com, please check out our Camp Cake bundles because we've put together a ton of options for you that will help you with your holiday baking. And I hope I see you at Camp Cake. Oh my gosh! I need help finishing my windows! I'm coming! These cityscapes look amazing, and I'm going to add them to each tier of my cake. Clear piping gel on the back, and just slowly lift them up and place them against. Now I can finally dowel and stack this cake. Each tier was built on its own board, which you don't see, but it allows me to put dowels in between to support each tier of cake, and I can't have this cake collapsing. Imagine. Imagine I, of all people, was at my son's birthday party and the cake collapsed. Who would save me? Not Cake Girl, because I'm Cake Girl. Who does Cake Girl call? Oh. That's why I need to be part of the Justice League, so I can call on them.
Yes.
And maybe they can help me. I cut the dowels flush to the same height as my tier of cake, insert them straight down, and then I add just a little layer of royal icing before placing the final little red tier. One thing I know about comics is the sounds are really loud, but they're written out for you. For this, I have rolled out some yellow, blue, and red fondant. I also rolled out some more white gum paste and cut out the words pow, bang, crash with my click sticks. Cake Girl always has click sticks in her back pocket. What if she has to like cut a word out of gum paste on the fly? And then I laid each one onto a piece of cardstock that I'm going to use to make my template for my sound burst. Once I've laid out my letters, I just take a pencil and draw around it. Once I'm happy with all three of my templates, I cut them out of the cardstock with scissors, and then I lay it on to a color and cut it out. So I lay the template on, cut it out, and then I glue that first color onto the second color and then cut around it so that I see a border of that second color. Finally, it's almost time to add my letters, but first I want to outline them using a black food coloring marker. Then I glue the words onto their sound bursts with, you guessed it, clear piping gel. I glue my enemies to the sides of cakes, get them out of my way. And I add them in angles, over the city. Pow, bang, crash.
Are you admiring the cake?
Yes, I really like it. It's so friggin' square. Please share this video. This cake is perfect for any little guy or little girl who loves superheroes. Mom, did you apply that fondant in panels? Yes, I did. It's the best way to keep the edges straight. All the other 4-year-olds, Did you use a ruler? Of course I used a ruler, kids. I put a ruler in every one of your loot bags. Cake is burning somewhere. I'll see you next week.
And that's a wrap, everyone, on Cake Girl. Woo!
It's not a wrap. I have to write the entire series. Check
right.
out Justice League.
Not a wrap.
Aquaman. Oh, you can be underwater forever. I can crumb coat and chill.
Oh my god.
Bet you Flash can't ice a cake as fast as I can.
Probably not.
No, he can't.